Most beginners think the only thing stopping them from becoming a better Bloodstrike player is their aim. They spend hours copying pro sensitivities, changing their HUD, and looking for the best settings. Yet they still lose fights they feel they should have won. The truth is, aim isn't the biggest reason beginners struggle. Most players lose because they make the same mistakes every single match without realizing it. These mistakes put them in bad positions, make fights harder than they need to be, and often get them eliminated before their aim even has a chance to matter. The good news is that every mistake in this video is fixable. Once you stop making them, you'll survive longer, win more gunfights, and rank up much faster. So here are 6 beginner mistakes you need to stop making in Bloodstrike. 1. Taking every fight you see. The biggest mistake beginners make is believing they have to shoot every enemy they spot. The moment they see someone, they immediately open fire without thinking about what's happening around them. They don't check if they're standing in the open. They don't check if another squad is nearby. They don't check whether they have enough armor, ammo, or cover. They simply see an enemy and start shooting. This habit gets players eliminated every single day. The goal in Bloodstrike isn't to take the most fights. The goal is to win the match. Sometimes that means fighting. Sometimes that means waiting. Professional players don't ask themselves, can I shoot? They ask themselves, should I shoot? There's a huge difference. Maybe the enemy is running toward their teammates. Maybe another squad heard the footsteps and is already rotating. Maybe you're standing in the worst possible position. Maybe you're about to get pinched from another angle. Good players understand that patience wins more fights than aggression. If you have the better position, take the fight. If you don't, wait until the odds are in your favor. One smart decision is worth far more than one rushed elimination. 2. Standing still during gunfights. The moment many beginners start shooting, they completely stop moving. It feels natural because standing still makes aiming easier. The problem is that it also makes you one of the easiest targets in the lobby. Imagine trying to hit someone who's constantly moving left and right. Now imagine trying to hit someone who's standing completely still. Which player is easier to eliminate? The answer is obvious. Movement is one of the strongest defensive tools in Bloodstrike. You don't need complicated movement mechanics. Simple strafing already makes a huge difference. Move left, move right, use nearby cover, peek from different angles. Don't expose your entire body longer than necessary. Even if your aim isn't perfect, making yourself harder to hit increases your chances of winning. Remember, every bullet your enemy misses is one less bullet you have to survive. Don't become a free target. 3. Spending too much time looting. Loot is important. Everyone wants better attachments, armor, healing items, and stronger weapons. But many beginners spend way too much time looking through death boxes after every fight. They compare attachments. They organize their inventory. They decide which weapon looks better. Meanwhile, another squad has already heard the gunfire and is running toward them. One of the easiest ways to get eliminated is standing still while looting. Experienced players loot with a purpose. They grab what they need, reload, heal, replace armor if necessary. Then they leave. Think about every fight as an alarm that tells nearby enemies exactly where you are. The longer you stay there, the more likely another team arrives. Fast looting is a skill. Know what you're looking for before opening a death box. If you already have enough ammo, don't waste time grabbing more. If your armor is full, don't sit there comparing every item. Take what helps you survive the next fight and keep moving. Loot doesn't win games. Good positioning does. Number 4, ignoring information around you. Most beginners only focus on what's directly in front of them. They don't pay attention to the minimap. They ignore footsteps, they ignore gunshots, they ignore teammate callouts. Then they're surprised when another squad appears out of nowhere. The best players are constantly collecting information. Every gunshot tells you where enemies are fighting. Every set of footsteps tells you someone is nearby. Every teammate marker gives you information about where your team is positioned. Information allows you to prepare before a fight even begins. If you know where enemies are coming from, you don't have to panic when they appear. Start building the habit of checking your minimap every few seconds. Listen carefully. Look around more often. Pay attention to your surroundings instead of staring at your crosshair the entire match. The more information you collect, the smarter your decisions become. For 5, reloading at the wrong time. Reloading is one of the most common reasons beginners lose gunfights. Many players reload automatically after firing only a few bullets. It becomes a habit. Shoot, reload, shoot, reload. The problem is that reloading leaves you completely defenseless. If another enemy appears during that animation, you're stuck. Sometimes you still have enough bullets to finish another fight. You don't always need a full magazine. Good players reload when it's safe, behind cover, after checking their surroundings, after confirming the fight is over, not in the middle of an open area. Before pressing the reload button, ask yourself one question. If another enemy appears right now, can I survive? If the answer is no, keep your weapon ready. A half-full magazine is much better than an empty gun halfway through a reload animation. Number 6, blaming everything except yourself. This is the biggest mistake beginners make because it completely stops improvement. Every time they lose, they immediately find something else to blame. My ping was bad, my gun is weak, that weapon is overpowered, my teammate didn't help, he got lucky. Sometimes those things are true, but if every death has an excuse, you'll never improve. Professional players think differently. Whenever they lose a fight, they ask themselves one simple question. What could I have done better? Maybe they pushed too early. Maybe they stayed in the open for too long. Maybe they ignored footsteps. Maybe they challenged 2 enemies at once. Maybe they forgot to heal. Maybe they reloaded at the wrong time. Every mistake teaches you something. If you ignore it, you'll repeat it. If you learn from it, you'll slowly become a better player. After every match, don't focus on all your mistakes. Focus on one. Fix that one mistake in your next few games. Once it becomes a habit, move on to another. Small improvements every day lead to huge improvements over time. That's exactly how experienced players become consistent. Those are 6 beginner mistakes that hold most players back in Bloodstrike. Stop taking every fight you see. Keep moving during gunfights. Loot faster. Pay attention to the information around you. Reload only when it's safe. And most importantly, learn from every mistake instead of making excuses. You don't need perfect aim, expensive devices, or pro settings to improve. You need better habits. The next time you load into a match, don't try to fix everything at once. Choose one mistake from this list and focus on correcting it. Once that becomes automatic, move on to the next one. Do that consistently, and before long, you'll notice you're surviving longer, winning more gunfights, and making smarter decisions without even thinking about them. That's how every great Bloodstrike player starts. If you found this video helpful, make sure to subscribe and share it with a friend who needs it. It really helps the channel and lets me keep making more Bloodstrike guides like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.